into the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast for Tuesday, October 1st already, just after 11 a.m. Eastern. How you doing? I'm Ron. That dude over there is John Yaglinski, who is our executive producer partner. Well, you know the drill. So
yeah, I'm staying over here today.
Doing everything. What?
I'm staying over here today.
You're freaking me out now when you do that. You're
freaking really? So all right, never mind. Right.
John likes to switch it up. If you watch the video element of now, he's over there.
Yeah.
If you watch the video element of this, then John always starts me off on, if you're looking at the screen on the right, and then he switches while I'm talking. And I don't know why. I never know why.
Because I don't do it beforehand.
Right. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't know.
But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can listen to the audio portion, of course, wherever you get your fine podcasts. Thank you for joining us live on Facebook and live on YouTube. And please hit those follow buttons and smash the likes and the subscribes and anything else I think that you have to do.
Do that thing you do.
Well, we do appreciate it. We do appreciate it. And welcome into Tuesday. It's I got to tell you, we had the Middletown Heritage Festival over the weekend on Saturday, and the greatest wave ever. Huh?
Did it rain?
Well, I was about to tell you that, Mr. Jump Ahead.
I get so excited.
I was getting there.
Okay.
So it was a big fat hairy deal. Greatest wife ever. This was our 18th year doing it, and because we used to own a flower shop. My wife's a florist. I think you know that. Greatest wife ever is a florist. But we had a flower shop downtown, and then we got involved so that we could bring the whole festival downtown. So we have a parade, and then set up a stage, and we have live bands and live music, and then all these vendors with food, and there's barbecue and Greek food, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
One year we had JB Seafood, so we had all these crab cakes everywhere. Because Maryland, right?
Right.
And so it's been, and Maryland pit beef apparently is a thing. Now, I this is going to be sacrilege. I know.
There we go.
Whatever. I'm not a fan. It's roast beef. It's roast beef. Okay, I can get that at Roy Rogers. We still have Roy Rogers here, by the way, in Maryland. I don't know if there are any more in the country.
No.
Although we were watching Greatest Wife Ever, and I are watching The Sopranos, and they mentioned, "Hey, you want to go to Roy Rogers and get something?" And I'm like, "Wow!" That was like 2000, I think, when we're still Roy Rogers in New Jersey. So anyway, how did I get on that topic? Oh, the food. So you asked about the weather. So the Heritage Festival, and it was rain all week. And then of course there's the tragedy of Hurricane Helene as we're watching this, and the devastation as it's hitting Florida. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But this is as it relates to the festival. So you had some bands, and there was not to get too in depth, but there was a high pressure system like right over us in Maryland, Pennsylvania, DC, what they call the DMV, and DC, Maryland, Virginia. I hate it. I don't like it. It was never the DMV. It's never been the DMV, but now it's so trendy to go the DMV, whatever. But anyway, and so that pushed off Helene, so I went to the west, and then all the devastation in Tennessee and Western North Carolina. It was just horrible. So a little bit of that reached up into where we were in Maryland. So on Saturday morning, we got up, and it was gray and rained all week long. And we on Friday, Greatest Wife Ever and I were out marking on the sidewalk. We had duct tape, and we're writing down the as best we can, trying to stick it to the wet pavement for the vendor spaces, right? So vendors can set up, here's your number 43, set up right here, your 10 by 10 tent, and, sell your jewelry or whatever's going on, right? And so we spent all day just completely soaked on Friday getting that done. Saturday morning, we head to vendor check-in. We have this garage that lends us their garage bay, and we set all our tables up and all that stuff. And 6 a.m., rain stopped by 7 and all the vendors had to be set up by 9. So by then there was a little blue that was peeking through, as the clouds. I mean, these were gray, and they were gray clouds. They weren't like nice wispy white clouds. These were gray, like I'm going to pour on you any second. but nothing happened. And then a little bit of blue, and then after the parade,
Yep.
which was fantastic, and then you had. I'm bad at crowd estimates, but I'm going to say it was like 2,000 people in the street
Okay.
of in our little town, and right after the parade, and then it was blue skies and sunshine. It was unbelievable, unbelievable, and it was gorgeous, all and warm too. It was probably reaching around 80, and it was wonderful all day. And then on Sunday, the clouds and rain came back, so it was just that
Yeah.
little window.
You had a
So
sliver.
that was the Heritage Festival, which is now, and I take this back to Labor Day because I forgot to mention this that Labor Day is what Greatest Wife Ever calls the cork holiday, because you pop that cork and then
Right.
everything else starts tumbling
Starts
at you
flowing.
at breakneck speed, because then it was, in the streets was the big festival. You had the fair, which is a big fat hairy deal, and then the in the streets, and then you had Heritage Festival, then Oktoberfest, and then here comes Halloween, and then right after that is Thanksgiving, and here comes Christmas. And it's just all boom, 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 boom.
New Year's.
So it's nuts, and New
Boxing
Year's,
Day.
right? So the Heritage Festival is done. We and Greatest Ever at Wife Ever was walking around the house yesterday, and she goes, "All right, Heritage is over, so I guess I should probably clean up the Beatles party that we I guess we still had
Oh,
all
yeah.
decorations because
Oh,
we didn't have time to touch it.
well,
Didn't have time to mess with it at all because just working on the next thing.
I mean, these
And
things
so
happen.
right. So she has to dismantle the Beatles and then put up and then
No,
she puts
don't
up
dismantle
Halloween.
the Beatles.
Dismantle the Beatles party. And I'm going to get some stuff in here. Like we have the dreaded flying glove. That's going to be right behind me. It's going to be flying right over there where I'm pointing. I'm pointing over
You've
my
got a
shoulder,
new
by the way, if
place,
you're
a
listening to the
place
audio.
for it.
Yeah, it's going
It's
to be
gonna be
suspended from
part
the
of the
ceiling.
memorabilia.
Suspended from the ceiling and going this way.
Okay.
I've got all kinds, and then the Abbey Road backdrop is going to go over that closet over there.
Okay.
That's pretty big.
Oh,
So, I mean, we've
you're
got.
running out of room there, Ron.
I have
hate
no
to say
room. I
it.
have zero room
Yeah, right.
because then my drums are still set up. I don't know if you can see that.
I do.
Now I have
can.
to practice. I'm practicing drums and I'm practicing my bass and because I just
should
want
do
to.
that.
I want to stay sharp. You should do that, John. And I tell you this every time.
I know.
Start a band.
It's
Start a band, John.
I don't have
Start a
time to
band.
start a band, but I should be playing every once in a while.
You should be playing every day.
No, that's not happening.
All you do when you're watching TV is just sit there. You don't have to plug your bass in and just practice.
Right.
Practice your scales. That's
Mhm.
all you got to do. Get the strength back in your ring finger and your pinky and all that stuff. That's all you got to do. You don't have to play it. Don't have to plug it. Nothing.
Right.
Just practice your scales and
Okay.
get some of the muscle back.
Here
You
we
can do
go.
that while you're watching TV.
Here we go.
I'm serious.
All right.
Pour yourself a bourbon, right?
No.
No?
We need
You're not drinking
slow
bourbon?
down. No, I am.
Are we not drinking bourbon this weekend? We better be drinking
we
bourbon
are.
this weekend.
I got about 4 or 5 different kinds, so we can do some tastings.
Do you have like Whistle Pig? That's like the big.
I don't do the Whistle Pig. I
No?
have tried it. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I know it's a hot kind of commodity right now, but
Yeah.
I've got other kinds.
Yeah, my
Castle and
best
Key
friend
is
George.
my one right now. It's
Which
called
one?
Castle and Key.
I've seen Castle and Key, I think.
Really
Have I?
awesome label, and it's
Maybe.
a beautiful bottle, and it tastes good too. Yep.
I don't I for some reason, I don't know why I latched on to Bullet, but now I drink Bullet.
Bullet's good
And,
for just a
Right, just
normal
straight,
every day.
Yeah, I don't
It's
mix
your-
it in a drink or anything. Although I have made old fashions out of it, which is pretty decent.
No, that's good too.
I like
I mean,
the
they
Bullet.
make a good old fashioned.
They do.
We can do that this weekend.
It's spicy though. It's a spicier whiskey
Got a
than
little
some other
bit.
whiskeys, but
Mhm.
anyway, it's not.
We digress.
I digress about whiskey.
All right.
So I'm
How's it
finally going to get to visit John this weekend. I'm driving to South Carolina solo. Greatest wave ever.
When are
done.
you coming? So I know.
Not
So
able-
let me hold on.
You don't know?
Let me write this
I've
down.
told you this already.
I have it on my calendar.
Thursday.
Thursday. What time?
Thursday.
Late day arrival though, right?
About 3 in the afternoon.
3? You think
Yeah.
you're going to get here
I'm
at
leaving
3?
at 3.
What time are you leaving?
I'm leaving at 3 a.m.
Okay, that might put you here at then.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have a couple of pit stops and gas up and all that stuff.
Right.
And I was talking to the greatest wife ever.
Yeah,
She's
well-
like, well, which vehicle do you want to use? Do you want to take the Acura or do you want to what?
I wrote 3 p.m. Thursday. D-E-E. Thursday.
Stop, Don Geronimo.
Thursday.
Okay.
So what are we driving? What are we coming in?
Well, I think I'm just gonna, the old Honda Civic. Put some miles on the Honda Civic.
Filled up. You check the oil.
I gotta go.
Antifreeze.
I gotta change the oil, and I get my tires inflated. But everything else is great.
Check your antifreeze.
Everything else is antifreeze. You might okay. I'll
No,
check everything. I'll have them check
your levels. Just check your levels.
I'll get my fluids done.
Fluids checked.
Fluids are good. And I was going to take the greatest wife ever's car, but there's a rattle underneath, and I don't have
a loose bracket or something.
It's a loose bracket or something, as it's gotten worse. You just hear the
might be your heat shield.
And what is this? An X-wing fighter?
What are you talking about? Cars have heat shield.
What are you talking about? I know
they do. They do. So, like when you, if you were to pull over grass or high grass or something, like it doesn't come up and then burn.
Right.
Like it's a thing.
This straw here. Look at this, man. I need some.
Yeah, that's your heat shield as well.
So yeah, I'm heading down. I'm heading down to see John, and then I think we're going to record a couple of things so we can.
Have you been here before? You haven't been to Hilton Head before, right? This is a first visit.
No, I've been to Charleston, South Carolina, and I've been to Myrtle Beach,
but 2.5 hours away and 5 hours away, respectively.
Though.
So.
Although I was checking the bridge, I was checking out the bridge virtually to make sure I can drive over it because I got
the Hilton Head Bridge.
I got a bridge phobia.
No, that's not a.
I just wanted to make sure.
You're good. You're good.
Have you been to Savannah?
Have you been to Savannah?
Georgia? Never been to Savannah. No.
Oh, okay. So now I'm planning. Let me write these.
I want to go to that cemetery with the angel in it. That was in, I don't know, what was the movie?
There's it's
John Cusack was in it.
Yes.
Something good in the Garden of Good and Evil. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sometimes I can't remember my own name, but I pulled that one.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a tour.
How did I pluck that one? That's weird. I was just talking with my brother last night about memories and how sometimes they'll come back in vivid detail. And he was telling me a vivid detail of something when he was 5 that he'd completely forgotten about but contributed to his fear of spiders and arachnophobia, which I didn't realize that he had. But then he told me the story, which just came back to him for some reason. Just one.
By the way, arachnophobia, what I just stated, would be fear of hoodies.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Is it really arachnophobia?
An anorak is a
yeah. No, I got it. So I got it.
I just said that instead of arachnophobia for some reason. But,
okay, I got it.
Never mind.
I'm glad you backtracked so I could get the jokes that I miss 99% of the time.
Every once in a while,
I miss them. I go back and listen to the podcast just to see how cool I sound.
There's another gem earlier on that you missed too. So I'm just gonna. It's like another.
You're killing me. You're killing me when you do that. I know.
It's all right.
So yeah, I'm going to be coming down to visit. I'm very excited about it.
Yes,
and I'm planning my triptych and my pit stops. And
you don't seriously have a triptych, do you?
No.
Okay. You know what? I was at AAA yesterday getting a international. Hold on. I know this isn't show and tell, but
you were at AAA. I was at.
Sure. Hold on. Let me cover up the number.
You missed that.
But I have a international driving permit.
Okay.
So I'm going overseas next month. So I thought maybe I might want to do this. But I went to AAA yesterday, and funny you should bring that up. I actually asked the question: do triptychs still exist?
Right.
And they do.
Of course they do.
They do. They don't have as much detailed information from what I've been told, like about restaurants and things like that. I think they assume that you can go into Yelp or something and pull some info, but they do still do like the guided path and maps and turn by turn directions. It's like MapQuest from 1980.
MapQuest. I remember not Grace River. The daughter of the elder went to go visit a friend of hers who was in the Navy. But
Yeah.
I think for some reason he was in Chicago or whatever. So she was going to visit him and she plotted it out, her triptych. I should have her do mine. But
Yeah.
she wanted to stop. Her pit stops were going to be at all the restaurants that were featured on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives with
Oh,
Guy
good,
Fieri.
good plan. I like that
It was
one.
a great plan, and she did. She stopped off, took all these pictures. I'm here at this hot dog stand. Oh my god, these things are amazing. And I just thought that was pretty brilliant. Nice little eating tourism, which was cool. So maybe I'll have her do that for me. But I think I'm just gonna try to drive as quickly as straight through. I can't have too much coffee because then that means we're gonna have to keep stopping.
No, but
You know.
I
But
mean, luckily there are plenty of places you can stop
I'm
along the
putting
way.
together playlists.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
getting together different podcasts that I want to listen to aside from ours. And
Yeah.
so
Find some
I'm
good
all ready
ones.
for the drive. I don't mind driving. I just hope I don't hit a whole lot of there's going to be some traffic around DC because there always is. And 95 is a parking lot on the south
At the
side.
time in the morning that you're leaving, you
It's
still should be okay because
all
you're
the
going south.
time. It's
You should
all
be.
the
I
time.
know. I
And
know.
then I'm going to be
I know.
going around. I know. I'm going to be going around Raleigh and then going around. Does it go into Charleston? I guess. I don't know. I don't
What?
know. I have to
No,
look
you
at
do
that.
not. You do not come into it's 95. The only I mean, yeah, it's pretty much straight. I
95
mean,
has
you
a
could
belt.
choose
Yeah.
to take that one beltway thing around Richmond or whatever, but we never
Yeah,
do
it goes to the west.
that.
I told you my story about the Richmond Beltway, right? That it
Yeah.
was built. There was a big construction. I
Maybe.
grew up I was a kid in Mechanicsville, Virginia, which is right outside. It's a northern suburb of Richmond,
Right.
and in a great little neighborhood called Holly Ridge. I mean, it's like perfect suburbia
Yeah.
neighborhood. Rode my bikes with the big,
Never
handlebars, my
wasn't
Schwinn,
right.
and we did jumps like we were Evil Knievel. I mean, it was the perfect 70s childhood. Perfect
Perfect.
70s childhood. We had model
Right.
rockets. We played football in the backyard
Rock.
and model rockets.
I love it. Love it.
Model rockets were that, yeah, the STs or Century, the little engines, the little dry fuel.
I always
engine.
my parents never let me have those.
Those things just.
It
I did my
irritated
first.
me. Being the first child, I was cut off from doing dangerous things.
Oh no! Well, I was the middle child, so it
See,
was
you
my older
you had
brother.
that advantage.
Well, we
Yeah.
got our first rockets. Okay, God, I'm so going off. We got our first rockets, and my brother Joe, my older brother Joe,
Yeah.
got a Mercury Redstone. And I don't know if you
I don't know what that is, but that sounds really cool.
Mercury Redstone. It was a two-stager, by the way.
Oh, two-stager.
Yeah. And it was it a
Did
two-stager?
it have the
It might have
parachute?
been just one. No, it was just one stage. But it still had
Oh.
it had the black capsule on the top and then the little
Right.
tower. Look up Mercury Redstone. Who was on it? Alan Shepard, I think, orbited the Earth. And there might have been one of the first one, anyway, but the Mercury Redstone. It was before the Apollos. But it's a giant thing. So it was very intricate in putting it together. Excuse my clearing my throat.
Yeah.
And you had the balsa wood and you had to sand down the fins so that it was exactly straight. And you had to draw a line. I mean, it was very hard. And then of course I got the Evil Knievel stunt cycle, the one that flew over or didn't fly over Snake River Canyon, which was on my birthday, by the way, September 8th. Which was terrible. He was going to jump he was always going to jump the Grand Canyon, and then he was going to jump over but it was his sky cycle. So basically it was a little rocket. There you go. There's the Mercury Redstone. John just put up the Estes Mercury Redstone model rocket. Look,
Wow.
skill level 3, and that was his first rocket. See those fins down at the bottom?
Oh,
look at those fins down at the bottom. Okay, he had to hand sand those.
Wow.
To get them exactly correct so that the angle was correct. And you had to draw like a half inch back, and then it was nuts. The amount of skill he had in that. And it had two.
You can still buy one right now.
I know
for $30. And people, if you have kids, do this. Just go buy one right now and set it off for your kids. They will love you forever. It will be a moment they will never forget.
It really is a lot. It was a lot of fun, man. I'm telling you. And then it was two. We had two parachutes in there, and you had to put baffling in between and baffling underneath so that the heat of the engine didn't melt the parachute, because the capsule came down as one unit and then the fuselage came down as one unit.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the Evil Knievel one, right?
Yeah.
And I just kind of eyeballed the fins. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I got it
It's
on. So
close enough.
that was skill level 1 or 2.
Cool.
And so when we launched Joe's rocket. So, you had the big rod that was and you had the two little tubes on either side, the guides on either side. You put your rocket down, and then you had the igniters, and you put your little alligator clip pins, positive red and black.
Right.
And then you completed the circuit, and then you put your key in, and you saw the green light lit on your launching, and a little red button which completed the circuit. And as soon as that, the little electronic, because you had a battery in there, a little electronic pulse sent into the igniter, and it lit the little tiny bit of fuel that was on the wire, which ignited the engine, and then it took off. And they were C engines. They were big. There's A, B, and C. A were like little AAA batteries. Anyway, his took off. It came down beautiful. We put mine on there.
Evil Knievel.
The Evil Knievel. The straightest it flew was when it was on the rod, because as soon as it came off, it was like it did. It was like it was buzzing because we had a little crowd of neighborhood kids.
Of course you did. Because that's what you would do.
My dad's best friend, John Mercer, was visiting, and he just turned to my dad and goes, "Ron, is it supposed to go like that?" Because
oh, the humanity.
My father was like, "Did you measure anything?" I'm like, "No, I just whatever.
Kind of glued it on.
Good. It looked good. Did not fly good."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then it came down with such a and then it flew up like, I don't know, 30 feet, and then the parachute popped, but it wasn't enough height to stop the force of it dropping down, and just snapped off the fins. And there you go. There's my foray into model rocketry. And then, of course, Joe had to get the Micron rocket. Okay, Micron rocket. We went and we drove over to, instead of being in our neighborhood, we drove over to this industrial park where they were going to build stuff, but it was this big, huge, flat area. Flat area. Right. So we had the Micron rocket, which is about that big. Okay. And all of it was engine. All of it was the engine, and had a tiny little, right. So it didn't even have a parachute, no room for a parachute. It had room for streamers, which would break the fall as it came down, right? So these giant fins, and he spent all his time putting it together, and we spent all this money, and then he puts it on the launching pad, and we had binoculars and everything. Gone.
It's gone forever.
Gone.
Who knows where it went?
Probably orbit. It was. It went. It was just disappeared. It disappeared into the sky. We're sitting there scanning. Give me the binoculars. Scanning, trying to see if it came down. Then we estimated, all right, it's probably already down. So we had to look on the ground. But still, that was the best time. How did I get on the subject of model rockets? Because the neighborhood. So the neighborhood, Holly Ridge, out in Mechanicsville, Virginia, just off Atlee Road, there was this huge construction site behind us.
Okay.
And the year before we left, 77, 78, for some reason, there was a snowstorm in Richmond. You don't really get a whole lot of snowstorms. So we had a couple of snow days, and we would sled down this construction zone. And years later, I'm driving to Cape Hatteras with my bride, my brand new wife.
Right.
And we're driving, and I hit the Richmond Beltway, which is $8.95 or $6.95. I don't know. And so I start driving, and I see all these signs for Atlee Road, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I look to my left, and I'm like, that's my neighborhood. The construction zone was the Beltway. They were building the Richmond Beltway. And that's what I played on, because it was a big construction, big earth moving machines. It was all red clay, and they're building up these huge embankments that you see now on either side of a highway. If you wonder how they got there, I found out how they got there. Engineering the earth, moving the earth for our human needs, flattening hills and creating other hills. It was it was pretty amazing to watch. When I realized it as I was driving through.
Mm.
So, Hurricane Helene. I just need to mention this because there's a lot of destruction. It's really um,
Devastating.
it's devastating. It's hard to watch. Not just
Yeah.
the storm, not just the storms,
Mhm.
but and then you watch the death toll, and then it just exponentially increases, and it's hundreds of people are missing
Yeah.
hundreds.
Yeah.
And but then the catastrophic floods afterwards, and then or during and afterwards, and it's just it's mind numbing. So in the greatest way I've ever said, you know what, I think, next year when we're done doing, or whenever we're done doing all of our stuff, she says we'll go take classes, and we need to volunteer for like the Red Cross and stuff like that, because we want to
Mhm.
go. And yeah, and so I guess the Red Cross relief, just look it up online if you want to contribute to that, because they need everything. They need water and groceries and food, and blankets.
Yeah. I mean,
They need everything. Diapers for babies.
yep.
They need everything. Look it up on online for Red Cross, and I'll post the link up on the Facebook
Yeah.
page.
From what
And
I've been
our,
seeing, water's the biggest deal.
yeah,
Things like that. But I mean, even around here, there are some like the local government and stuff like that. The firefighters here in Hilton Head are
sure.
there
Yeah, right. Yeah,
helping
yeah, yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Some of them, and then there are some local groups that are actually gathering food and supplies at the local community center here, and they're driving them up there to hand them off to the local first responders and
sure.
and
Yeah.
people. So I mean, I think there's a lot of that going on. Just make sure you give to the right places,
Well, that's
so
why I
it
say
gets to
Red
them.
Cross. That's what I say
Yeah,
Red Cross. You can
Red Cross
do,
is pretty safe
or
on
through your
doing that
church,
kind of stuff. Yeah,
your house of
right.
worship. I know Catholic Charities,
Yep.
which is
That kind of
an
stuff.
umbrella organization, and
Yep.
then they divvy it up to different.
Yep.
So I mean, you just make sure you stick with a known
And be
charity.
sure and dedicate your donation specifically to
Right,
this
right,
event.
right.
Ask for it to be used only for that, because
Right.
then they have to follow those guidelines
Yeah.
if you do that. So
So
yep.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
want to
just a
mention that.
mess. A complete Yeah, the pictures are heartbreaking coming out of there. There are places that I think there was like a dam that was breached in one place. Definitely, I saw things where water was flowing over. Asheville is an absolute
Nashville.
mess.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, and this is what happens sometimes. I mean, this is like 100-year plus storm
Once in a
for
generation, I
for
read.
these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was unreal. And it just popped up, and then well, it didn't just pop up, but I started paying attention to it
Yeah.
when it was in the Gulf, and then they said it's going to increase in strength. And like in 24 hours, it went from a
It
cat
did.
cat
And the
4.
problem is, you're hitting areas that, like, here we're used to it. So we take her. I mean, Ron and probably all my friends get probably sick and tired of seeing me post, Mike's weather page, and look, this is coming. Look at this track. Look at that. It's just because it's a way of life here. You
Right.
kind of pay attention to these things. But the path that this took it through, inside of the country instead of the coast, which a lot of people just aren't used to that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Not
So
ready.
it's
And maybe you don't have flood insurance. I mean, the insurance is
no,
another,
I mean, even if you take it seriously, you still might not even imagine the consequences of something that devastating.
and I'm trying to find, constant news coverage. We were on the Weather Channel for a while, and then we've
Mhm.
moved over to various other channels because they'll quickly move. I mean, there's now the longshoremen,
Right.
uh, the strike that's going on, and then you still have the
Yeah.
debate and politics and the presidential race and all that
Right.
stuff. And I'm like, I need to find out what's going on with this,
It's been
and
hard to find, but there are reasons for that because those areas are hard to get to. They're
yeah,
devastated. There aren't camera crews there
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's dangerous for
yeah,
them to be there. So they might be out on the edge, kind of filming in, but you're not getting the true picture of this devastation. And I think that's not a great thing. I think we need to step up as a nation and get moving on helping these people right now. Like,
Well, that's why I wanted to put it out there that find
yeah,
findtheredcross.org or like I
definitely
said, Catholic
do what
Charity
you
through
can.
your house of worship.
Yep.
A reputable charity will be able to give the help that is needed, maybe even through your local firehouse because
Yep.
they've got
Yeah,
connections.
they might have people
Um,
there.
yeah,
Check it out. Yeah.
right. So, so I urge that.
Yep.
I wanted to mention
Absolutely.
that because it was just devastating to watch and people losing everything. Um,
Yeah.
and they have their lives, and then the people have lost their lives. It's really it's quite devastating. But I wanted to mention that in order to get then hopefully if you're motivated enough and give a little, you don't have to give a lot. If a lot of us give a little, then yeah,
There
it
you
would be
go.
it makes a difference. It
Give
really
a
does.
buck or five.
All right,
And
and
call it
okay,
good.
so moving on, trying to be a little sorry, I didn't mean to be so heavy-handed, but
That's
trying
all
to,
right. It's
I did want
important to
to.
cover that
It
kind of
is
stuff,
important.
right? So,
But here we are, October 1st. This is Halloween month. And if you go according to the Daughter of the Elders calendar, because remember, Labor Day is the beginning of fall on her calendar. And then so you do fall decorations. And then October 1st is Halloween for the month.
right.
And then on November 1st, it's harvest.
Harvest.
Harvest
Is
moving
that
up
the official holiday on
that's
November?
right. Well, that moving up to Thanksgiving. And that's where you take your jack-o'-lantern and you turn it around. So you just have this, you can recycle your pumpkins in that. You have your pumpkin. And then you
Okay.
have the geezer face. And then you probably should get rid of it because then of the
Because
fruit fly. Yeah.
yeah, it looks a
It
little,
it starts
yeah.
to rot and it's
Mm,
disgusting.
yeah.
But still, so now we're in and then I did want to mention this because there are some monthly observations. There are a bunch of them. Some of them are lighthearted, some of them are very serious. As you know, I think with October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is now something that is very near and dear to our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Given that there are, I'm not going to go too far deep into it, but it's touched our lives. So let's put it that way. So yeah, absolutely. Now we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month for
Mm-hmm.
the month. So get those mammograms, get it all
Cancer
checked out
sucks.
because
Get
this was
everything
actually
checked
caught
out,
with a
people.
routine
Yes.
mammogram. It was
Yeah.
caught with a routine mammogram. So
Yep.
do it.
Yeah. While you're at it,
Do it.
and I'm sure they'll do it probably at the same time. Get your neck checked.
And get your neck checked for the
Thyroid
right
thing.
thyroid.
Because that's very
Absolutely.
prevalent among ladies as well. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, do it both at the same time.
Do all the
Your
screenings,
Uncle
man.
Johnny
Get it
says.
all done, but I'm just saying it's because of
I know.
so,
Early detection is a good thing.
absolutely. It's also National Chili Month. John,
Simpleton.
do you have a chili recipe?
I don't know.
Do
I'm trying
no?
to simpleton.
Yeah.
The chili cook-off
Yes, sir.
ad that we did. Yes, sir. You know what? I should put a link to that. I have that somewhere.
What, the commercial?
Yeah.
That was that. By the way, that's how long the Simpsons have been on.
I
Is John and I
since
over 30 years ago did a
since I,
commercial together
yeah.
where probably illegally too, because
Oh, we just did the
these were
voices. We didn't
copyrighted
say we
characters,
were.
huh?
I don't know that we said Simpson. We said Simpleton.
I know. Well, no, I corrected you because you're like,
It's Simpson,
it's
sir.
simple.
Oh, that's true. You
It's simple, Simpson, sir.
Yeah, that's right. It's Simpson chair. Yeah, we did a commercial literally in 1990.
Wow.
And the show had just started
Right. Yeah.
right
Been on
around
like the
that
year
time,
before.
89 or 90. Yeah.
Yes, simpleton.
Simpleton. Oh my
Simpson,
God.
sir.
It was for a chili. It was for the La Paz Mexican chili
Is that what it
restaurant.
was?
Chili
I don't
cook-off.
remember that at all.
Yep. Yeah,
I
we
don't
won a
remember.
Addy for that.
Did we really?
Yeah, in Frederick, Maryland, we
For
won
copyright infringement? Good
we
job.
won a little local award for that.
Okay, good.
We were a recipient of the Addy Award for advertising excellence in Frederick, Maryland.
Well, it's chili month, and we've moved from
Yes.
we're now do turkey. We do ground turkey and pretty much everything. We've moved off of beef, which it's fairly adaptable. Although the other day, greatest wife ever, she's now when she cooks, she now invents stuff, which is just amazing.
That's good.
We had some
She's
ground turkey,
creating.
and then we had these the ready-made popover pastry dough that we were going to use for the party. But anyway, we hadn't used them, so they were in the refrigerator. So she decided to make. She did ground turkey and onions, and she put some other spices in there. I don't know, salt and pepper, and she put it in it and just made these popovers. With ground turkey, and I'm like, and she's like, oh, like cheeseburger, and she put cheese in there, and you can put ketchup and mustard, and I'm like, and I ate one like that, but then
yes,
I was like, well, I mean, it is turkey. I said, you think if I made turkey gravy, I mean, it would be like Thanksgiving? She goes, probably. So I made turkey. Oh, I could eat Thanksgiving 24/7. It's the big joke in my family that whenever we go out to a place like a Bob Evans or a Cracker Barrel or whatever around here, there was a restaurant called Barbara Fritchie, and
Barbara
on 40s with the giant candy cane.
Yep.
And if they had turkey and stuffing and gravy, and I got it every time. It'd be in the middle of July.
Why not?
Didn't matter. Why
not?
Gotta have it. I have to have it. It's just, I remember going to Barbara Fritchie's. The holidays were over, and it was January, whatever, and it was gray, Maryland. And I took a lunch from the local radio station. I was at Z104 in Frederick at the time. And I took a lunch and I went over to Barbara Fritchie and I sat at the counter and I ordered the turkey and gravy. And I had just sat there so depressed that the holidays were over. And I'm just eating my turkey almost in tears. So I'm like, it's so good. And the holidays are done. I used to get so bummed out, so depressed when the holidays were over, because I just loved them so much, and it just builds up, and then you had that week, and then all of the festivities and family and friends and everything is wonderful. It's not even about presents anymore with me.
No.
It's all about the just family and great times, and then and then the message of the season and all that stuff.
Right.
And afterwards, when it's all over, and and in Maryland, it's just gray. It's just gray and cold and gray, and it might not even snow. It's just kind of.
So I got to know. So you're a fan of the turkey year round, whatever. Did in elementary school, or high school, did you have the turkey hot shots, which essentially was turkey on a couple pieces of white bread with gravy on top of it, and then they'd serve potatoes and sometimes stuffing on the sides? This was year round.
No.
Oh,
no,
it was one of my favorite meals if I was buying lunch or dinner.
Turkey,
turkey hot shots. Even in college.
Turkey hot shots. I'm so hungry.
Now I'm like hungry for a turkey. Like I want a turkey hot shot now.
I have the deli turkey sliced already in the fridge. I can totally whip something up with the mashed potatoes and make it. Because I still have turkey. It's better than bouillon. Have you seen that? The turkey base?
Yes.
Right. So you make and I make the gravy out of it.
It's good. By the way, I did post the
this is a November show, by the way. I don't know. I got way ahead.
We're going cooking with the Simpsons commercial. I found it. I have it. I posted it to our.
Oh no! Is that what it was?
Yes. Yeah, I've got
it. Oh no! Is that link you put up? Okay.
100%. I mean, I could play it here probably, but
go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Can you play it back?
Talk for a second, and I can bring it up here.
I have no problem doing that.
Yeah.
So I did want to mention, I don't know if you can see, John, but I replaced. Look at these. They look like brand new headphones.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh. See, now these headphones, Sony headphones, they're the MDR 7506.
Yep.
Basically the industry standard.
Sure.
Basically the industry standard. You can get AKGs, and what's the other one? The Sennheiser.
I've got AKGs.
I know. I used to have a pair of AKGs.
Sennheiser.
And there's your Sennheisers, and these are the Sonys. This is like the workhorse of
everybody loves who've been in broadcasting a million years loves the Sonys for some reason.
I love them. I
mean, they're closed sound design, and I guess they're kind of a neutral sort of sound, right? Or are they bassy?
They're bassy. That's why.
Well, that's probably why.
That's why I like them. And then Bob Miller at WFMD, he's got the giant Sennheiser Frankenphones. They're made out of almost cast iron. They're metal. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I know.
And
I
then
know.
they have
I know
the I call them Frankenphones because that little tube for the fuse. There's one here and there's one
fuse. That's not right.
Those things
They
are
have a fuse.
giant.
A
Those things
fuse.
are giant. He loves his he loves his Frankenphones. Ooh,
Frankenfurts.
Frankenphones.
Oh, spooky. Ooh, ooh,
Ooh, oh, wait a minute.
ooh,
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 ooh.
ooh. It's October. Or it's
Okay.
Rocktober. Oh,
Okay.
it's Rocktober. So anyway, I don't know if you noticed,
Yeah.
but if
It's
you go
good.
back and look at some of the old podcasts
Yeah.
just prior to this one,
Yeah.
is my headphones were falling apart. These are I want to say 10 years old.
Yeah.
And this pad right here just falls apart. And it was so I finally had enough. And I went online and I just sent it an email to my wife and just said, "Hey, can you get
Find
these
me
please? 20
some.
bucks.
Yeah.
20 bucks."
Mhm.
And she says, "Yeah, they'll be here tomorrow." And I just replaced them and they
This is
feel
the
fantastic.
great thing about professional level headphones for the most part. You can find, like for these, you can find these pads
Yeah.
everywhere. The
Yeah.
cords, if they go bad, literally, you can
Yeah.
replace the
Just
cord.
replace the cords, yeah.
Same thing here. Look. Yeah.
Oh, wow, it just pops out.
It
Look at
just
that.
comes out. Yeah. So, and you can attach different kinds of cords. So if you want it into a mini or you want it into a quarter inch, not to get too far down the road, but
Well, I was gonna
yeah.
say,
Yep.
this
All right.
John and I always go down the
Yep.
radio,
Sorry.
rabbit hole. Sorry about that, but that's what
Speaking
happens.
of which,
But I was trying to
I
say that
have it
these
here. I've got a
all right, well,
commercial.
1 second, I'll get to there. But my
Okay.
question is, what
Yeah.
is it that you had that's raggedy that you've replaced, but you you had a raggedy phone? You had a
Raggedy.
front
And I know a lot of people do this. The screen protectors, like they'll
Yeah,
get
oh,
broken and they're only like $1 or 2, but they'll carry it around for months
yeah,
broken.
I
Like
did.
just spend the $2,
I
man,
did.
or
I
buy the
totally
10
did.
pack.
I
Yeah.
totally did.
Yeah. See, you're guilty.
I
I
had a
knew it.
screen protector, and then I didn't realize here's how dumb I am. I had a
Yeah.
screen protector, it was a pretty thick piece of plastic, right?
Yeah.
And it was coming up at the edges, and I had bubbles in there. So
Yeah.
when I started peeling it off,
Yeah.
I realized that that was the backing to the actual screen
What?
protector.
Oh, jeez. So there was a screen. So you had the backing on under. Oh,
Plastic, it was clear plastic. So and it worked, it worked. It took my thumbprint and all that stuff, but still, when I peeled it off, I'm like, "Oh,
like, oh, that's much
oh, there's
clearer now.
the screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the screen. That's much thinner and
Yeah.
nice and
Huh.
cleaner."
That's pretty bad.
But since I've taken it off,
Yeah.
I've now dropped my phone about 10 times. And
Okay.
I'm surprised I haven't broken
But
it.
you have a protector on there?
No, no, I took it
Huh?
off.
What
I
kind
took
of
it off
phone do you
because it was
have?
got all dirty and fuzzy
What
and
kind of
huh?
do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, I have yeah,
What
I do.
kind? What
Uh,
number? I
13?
have
13.
okay, I
13.
might not have a 13.
Ah,
I was like, I
okay,
can hook
all
you
right.
up when you come
You gonna
down
do
here.
phone repair when I come down? Okay.
I totally do.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
All
all
right,
kinds
here
of
we go. You ready?
Oh, is
Here,
this the commercial? All right, so here's the
yeah, let's
commercial John and I did 1,000 years ago at WARX in
X
Hagerstown, Maryland.
106.9.
Right.
And here we go. I
Oh.
think.
Come in, Simpleton.
That's Simpson, sir. You wanted to see me, boss?
Yes, Simpson, what's wrong with you lately?
It's chilly, boss.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the air conditioning. Simpson, what the devil?
Don't, not that kind of chili, you chowderhead. The kind you eat. It's the 6th annual Magic 106.9 Snapple Natural Beverage La Paz Chili Cook-Off. I can't get my mind off of it. Simmering chili, spicy spices, hot pepper eating
Oh,
contest.
stop babbling, you fool, and give me the details. You know, Smithers and I make quite a spicy concoction of chili ourselves.
You flatter me, sir. Probably put nuclear waste in it. It's the 4th of July at Baker Park in Frederick. Wait a second. This is radio. Let the announcer tell you more.
Professional prizes include a $1,000 advertising schedule on Magic 106.9.
Ooh, good station.
And a brass fire extinguisher displayable for 1 year. Individual prizes include $500 cash and a Fisher remote control stereo TV. The Magic 106.9 Snapple Natural Beverage La Paz Mexican Restaurant Chili Cook-Off. Call Magic 106.9 at 293-7580.
What's that? 293?
293-7580. Come in,
Oh,
Simpleton.
stop.
Come in.
It'll just keep playing. Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, wow.
You got so excited that you disconnected yourself.
You disconnected too. It was
Oh, really?
weird.
I was
Yeah,
here.
no, I don't know what
But,
happened. All
uh,
of a sudden I had arrows and all that stuff.
well, anyway, it was fun listening. It was good copywriting, I have to
That
say
was
that.
crazy. Did we write that? I
We
think
wrote that
we
copy.
wrote that ourselves. Look at
We
us.
had jokes and
We
stuff
were in
in
our
there. It was
20s.
pretty funny. We
We
were
were
pretty
in our
good.
20s.
I know. It's pretty good, actually, still. It holds up.
It held up. Probably put nuclear waste in it. I was
Yeah,
very happy
exactly.
with my
Right, and
Homer.
$1,000 advertising schedule on Magic 106.9. Ooh, good station. It's good stuff. Hey, look at that. Jim says that was
The
awesome.
chili cook-off. I
Yeah.
remember the chili cook-off.
Oh my gosh.
We also had a jalapeno pepper eating contest,
Yeah.
which
It was a good time.
yeah.
I remember. Oh, that was before I got fired.
I loved Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
That
Which
was
led me
the
to the career I have now. So
right,
whatever.
exactly.
It's no hard feelings.
They I loved doing that stuff. I love doing production. It's when you record commercials, it's called
Yeah.
production. And I love doing production, and I was a production director for a little while.
Yeah.
And I did one where I just blatantly ripped off Monty Python, and was doing a play-by-play of something.
Mustn't have
And
been there at that time. I mustn't have been there at that time. I
No,
don't
Jim,
remember it.
the PD at the time, who he also did a lot of voices, and he was the production director. Anyway, he was like, where did you get that? Where did you? And I'm like, oh no, I just made it up. Totally lied. Then I
Right.
because I completely took it from Monty Python. But anyway, neither here nor there. I love doing that stuff. I also love doing, again, we're inside radio.
It's okay.
I love doing the concert spots.
Oh,
I loved doing those concert
yeah.
commercials because my hero, and John's and my hero was a guy. It was Bill something or other from Houston, Texas, and he had multi-track. He could record on several tracks and do these fade ins and fade outs and segues and all that stuff with all these clips and cuts from commercial or from bands and songs and when you were doing a concert.
It was.
I just remember doing the Beach Boys coming to Hagerstown Speedway and wish they all could be together for the good. The
Tuesday,
legendary
February
Beach
25th.
Boys, and you could cheese it up. You could
Oh
cheese
my
it up
God.
really good. I did when I just got to Key 103 in Frederick a year ago. They were like, "Hey, can you do this commercial for?" It was at the Weinberg Center, and who was it? Toe the Wet Sprocket. I'm like,
Oh,
totally do
yeah.
Toe the Wet
They've got
Sprocket.
like 4 hits, 3
Totally.
hits. So yeah,
I
we can
know,
do
and
it.
I had to pause and put the hits in because the copy is you only have to write like 10 seconds, 15 seconds of copy for a 30-second spot because
I know.
it's all music clips. Tickets available now. TheWeinbergCenter.org.
I
It
know.
was great. Toe the Wet Sprocket in concert.
That's it. Electric Factory Concerts
Oh,
presents
my God, I
in
love-
concert. Rush presents Astounding Rush.
Witness the spectacle.
Witness
Yeah.
the spectacle.
That was the big one.
The
That was the
supreme
big one.
musicianship of Rush.
It's the return of Kiss at the Capitol Center. Tickets available. Was it not Ticketmaster? Ticketron.
Ticketron.
In all Maryland water bedrooms.
Yeah. You like that?
Why there?
I don't know. You like that, and I like doing the Dragway commercials.
I love doing those too.
Yeah, 7580 Dragway.
7580 Dragway, the action place to be.
With long and smoky burnouts.
Using double parachutes to stop. Rocket fuel engines.
Oh my gosh. It's just not right.
Sunday. 75. And you had and it was the Steve Miller band. What was the song? Living in the USA.
Oh,
It had that the peel out. And it was 7580 Dragway, the action place to be.
Dragaway.
Correct.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
correct. And that was right by my neighborhood. That was the sound of my youth growing up.
It's in
From,
Monrovia,
13
Maryland.
on is I could hear
Mhm.
7580 Dragway was right by, and you just heard that all day.
Yeah.
Public announcement.
Right. The PA guy on a single
Yeah.
like cone.
One gray horn.
Number 12, Plymouth Duster.
They did street rods and they did funny cars. Funny cars.
Yeah, and for many years, Motor Trend. Not Motor Trend. What was it called? There was a motoring show on PBS that filmed there.
Filmed at 75.
At 7580. I can't remember. It wasn't Motor Trend. It was something else.
It was called 7580 because it was at the
corner,
the junction of Route 75, which
Route
went
80.
into Hyattstown and out to 270, and 80, which
80.
came from Urbana and went on through and
Motor Week.
Fingerboard Road. Motor Week.
That was it.
7580. The action place to be. God, I love that place. All right, you know what?
What, Ron?
I think it's time. Are you ready? All right, it's time.
Yeah, I guess.
Because it's 8 minutes of.
Right.
Did I get
know.
to anything I wanted to
Did
do?
we? Yeah, really? Yeah, we got
I don't know.
to
I guess I did. Kind of.
We did. It was
Yeah.
in a roundabout way. but-
Time
Okay.
to get the gray matter working. Fire off the synapses, engage the frontal lobe, form new neural networks, utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to
Think.
ding. It's the dun. Question of the day. Playing for pride, not prize. Are you ready? All right, here's today's question of the day.
Okay.
This 1990 film adaptation had the first of 5 actors to play this fictional super spy. What was the movie? All right. This 1990 film adaptation had the first of 5 actors to play this fictional super spy. What was the movie? You got to put the year in its place, because then that should eliminate the obvious answer and move on to something else. All right.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, because that was where I went until you said 1990.
Correct. Look at the date and time. 1990.
90.
All right.
Spy movie in 1990.
Oh, you know what? I can give you a super duper given away clue. You want a super duper given away clue?
Yes.
The movie also starred an actor who originated the original spy that we were just talking about on film.
Did it?
It did.
Wow.
All right, here it is one more time. This 1990 film adaptation had the first of 5 actors to play this fictional super spy. What was the movie? And it also co-starred this actor, an actor who originated the role of a super spy, but years before. Not this super spy, another one. The one you were thinking of. The obvious one.
The obvious one.
The obvious one. All right, here you go. Put your answers down in the comment section. And good luck. Yeah, I just thought of that super duper give it away clue whilst I was talking.
Huh.
I should have thought of that to help out.
I'm a little concerned though.
Are you
'cause
flummoxed?
I think you may have flummoxed people. I'm like, why can't
5
movies?
5 super
5.
spy. Yeah. No, 5 actors.
Oh,
More
5
than-
actors.
Yeah.
5 actors
actors.
played the role of
This super spy. Right.
this super spy.
And then one was in recently it was made into a television series.
Okay. Well, we do at least
Streaming
have-
series. A
we
streaming.
do at least
I'm
have
sure
it.
we have an answer.
We have
I'm
an
sure
answer.
we have an answer. And then as soon as you see what the answer is, you're going to understand where I got the question. Here we go. Ready?
Right, yeah. Ready? Okay, here we go. And Zach says,
What was the movie? I'm asking for the movie. I'm asking for the movie. It was what was the movie?
"Oh, Zach, come on, Zach. Come on back,
Zachary.
Zach.
Zachary. So, in other words, you're incorrect.
Oh no,
Sorry. I asked for the movie. You didn't give me the
Oh.
movie.
sorry.
The 1990 film adaptation. What was the movie? It was the first one. There you go, Susan Hunt for Red October. There it is.
Thank
Boom.
goodness.
Tom Clancy's The Hunt for Red October. it was Alec Baldwin who originated the role on film of Jack Ryan from the CIA. He was an analyst, and it co-starred as the Russian U-boat commander. It starred Sean Connery,
Yeah, so now I'm
who
getting
was
the
James
right. He
Bond.
was James Bond, who was
Right.
the one that was the obvious.
That was the obvious choice. But no, yeah, you have 5 actors who played Jack Ryan.
Oh, Susan's
Susan says
spreading
they have to
around
thank
the
my coworkers.
pride.
You guys listening to this at work? That's impressive. I appreciate
Very
that.
good.
Thank you, Susan. Very nice.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that I had to pull a stickler
Sorry,
there
Zach.
because you were correct. It was Jack Ryan, but
Right.
it wasn't. I asked for the movie. So, but there were 5 actors, or are 5 actors who have played Jack Ryan, which would be Alec Baldwin,
Okay.
Ben Affleck,
Yeah. Okay.
Chris Pine,
Did he?
Harrison Ford,
Oh yeah.
and then John Krasinski
Yeah.
in
On
the
The
television series,
Right.
the Apple TV Plus, I think.
No, it was
Streaming
on.
series.
I thought it was on Prime.
Is
Wasn't
it Prime? It's
Yeah, I think it's
probably
Prime.
Prime. I think you're right.
Yeah,
It is
Amazon Prime, because I watched it for the first couple seasons.
Yeah, I didn't watch the last season.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Which for some
Either.
reason, I don't know why. But yeah, that was and Jack, at one time Harrison Ford was in 3 major film, what do you call them, franchises, because he was in the Star Wars franchise, and then
That's
he was
insane.
in
Literally.
the Indiana Jones franchise, and then he was in the Patriot Games, or Jack Ryan.
That's
all of
true.
that, playing
Yes.
a major Jack Ryan character. But yeah, no, it was Alec Baldwin was the first Jack Ryan, and then Ben Affleck, and then Chris Pine. Well, then it was who was it? Then it was Harrison Ford who did 2 movies or 3, I think, as Jack Ryan, and then they tried to reboot the whole thing with Chris Pine as Jack Ryan.
Who I like.
Shadow Recruit. And then
yeah. But
and then you had the film, and then you had the series with John Krasinski as Jack Ryan. So there you go.
If you had asked me who starred in Hunt for Red October, obviously I would have come up with Sean Connery. I don't even remember Alec Baldwin being in it.
He was the star.
I don't remember.
It was Jack Ryan.
Why do I not remember any of that?
I don't know. Because he played a mild-mannered, because Jack Ryan was a mild-mannered CIA analyst. He wasn't a super spy.
Right.
He was
that was the whole thing. Yeah.
That's all he did. He liked to work in the office.
Right.
And but the reason I picked that was because October. We're in October. The Hunt for Red October.
Right. Pumpkin Spice Month.
There's another one called October Skies. I was trying to come up with movies that had October in it, but I thought.
Do you remember?
What's that?
Oh no, that was September. It's in the rear view mirror at this point.
Oh, I know. September's already gone.
It's gone.
Already over. That's crazy.
Yeah, Jim says Alec was a nobody back then. So maybe that's it. Maybe I just didn't even. I'm not like connecting.
Was he? Had he
I
had
don't know.
Beetlejuice? But he had Beetlejuice out yet? Because he was in Beetlejuice.
He might have, but again, like I didn't know who he was in Beetlejuice at that time. So I mean, you knew a little more.
What was his big breakout role? He had one, and it was a courtroom drama.
Yeah, was that
with Demi Moore? I think. Right?
Was it?
It was a courtroom drama. It was not presumed.
It wasn't the. No, that was.
Now I'm not looking up the Alec Baldwin.
I'm
not looking it up. I'm not looking up his career.
No.
But, you know what?
Yeah,
we got to run. I actually have to do an interview with a country music star in about a half hour.
Really?
On my Conversations podcast. What's that?
Shane Gamble?
Not that star, although he is a great country music star and a personal friend of John's.
I know. I'm just.
But
who's the star?
Why are you doing this to me, John?
I don't, because you brought it up. What do you mean?
I know. Stop. Easton Corbin.
Okay, cool. I don't know who that
Corbin. He's had 2 #1 singles. And,
really?
He's got a new.
How out of touch I am.
Like 10 years ago. And so he's got a new album that came out, and he's doing a big tour. what is it called? Long Line of Drinkers is the tour.
I come from a long line of drinkers.
It is.
I like
It's
that.
a good song. It's very traditional country.
Yeah.
There you go. Jim said Beetlejuice was 88. So that was before the Jack Ryan. So that was I guess the beginning of the launch of Alec Baldwin's career.
The trajectory.
The trajectory.
As it were.
So yeah, I'm going to be interviewing Easton Corbin and on my Ronversations podcast, which I will gladly post the link. So
please do
listen to these ads or these great celebrities that I've had a chat with. And then I'm working on getting some new guests fairly soon. I've been wordling with Lisa Loeb. Lisa Loeb and I wordle every morning now. And she got a twofer. She got a twofer yesterday, which was awesome. So I got a twofer too to match her. Which I
it's funny. She popped up in my feed. It was this morning where there was a Drew Carey show episode where they brought in guitar players to play.
Oh, wow.
Band,
okay. All right.
And they brought in all these famous people and like, nah, you're too good. Nah, you're too good. Nah. And they had all these rock guitarists, and then in walks Lisa Loeb. It was just like a cool cameo.
Right.
So, yeah.
She was also in that 90s show, I think, not too long ago.
She probably was.
She had another cameo in the 90s show, which was funny.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there you go. In the chat is the link for Apple Podcasts for Ronversations with Ron Ross.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Subscribe, download, do the things you do.
Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So I'll do another one. I got to do another one. It's like half hour and chat with him. And then I got to get my ducks in a row.
You do that
because the next time I talk to John, well, I'm sure we'll be
pack
via the phone. I got to pack. And
I got to get my ducks in a row now. I got to tell my wife you're coming on Thursday.
She didn't know that? Nothing. You guys didn't know?
No, I thought we did, but I thought it was going to be later in the day than it is. So anyway.
Yeah, I built the day in early at the beginning of it instead of on the tail end.
Yeah. Got to go get some food.
Huh?
Got to go get some food and supplies.
I know, unbeknownst to the look, I don't eat much.
That's still got to have stuff to eat, though.
I have a salad for breakfast, brunch. I do. Iceberg lettuce, man. It's fantastic. I love iceberg lettuce. That and a little bit of turkey and maybe some cheese, and life is good.
All right, we gotta pull this train into the station.
I know.
Right.
Seriously, and then we're gonna I'll post the link to redcross.org. And I think there's a sub thing that you can click on in order to get the funds to Hurricane Helene relief. Yes. Right, so we'll post that as well. So all of that stuff's going to be up on our Facebook page, and all that stuff's going to be up on our YouTube page. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate that. And are we doing the podcast next week? Yeah, we are. So we'll be back.
Yes.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
The week after that, yes. And then we are off for 2 weeks.
And then we're off for 2 weeks. Yeah, unless I try to pull off some sad, pathetic Facebook Live thing.
You can try.
Probably.
Yeah, it's fine. Feel free.
No. All right, listen. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. John Yaglinski, Ron Ross. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.